Well. Welcome back. Hangobi Pod back in action. Uh, Spring of 2023. Boys are getting ready. How we doing, Dan, Gio? Welcome back.
Things are good over here. I feel like Cap, you got to kick us off. I mean, you guys are down in New York right now. I'm from New Hampshire. Today was a balmy 50, but I was getting the updates. New York 70 degrees, skirts are out, the yoga pants are put away until the fall. I hear good things coming.
It was a lovely day in New York today. I wouldn't say it was 70 degrees though. I mean, who are your sources?
No, it
Uh,
was like 50.
It was like a 50, it was like a brisk 50. I did break out the shorts and the t-shirt, but it was cold. It was definitely cold for shorts and t-shirts.
It was actually difficult
Tomorrow,
to manage the temperature. I was getting a lot of chills, like overheating, sweating. I was, back and
that
forth. It
might
wasn't.
be because you're suffering from a bachelor party.
That's true. That's true.
But
which will get you. That's a lingering effect too.
yes. But no, it was tomorrow's gonna be great. Tomorrow's gonna be a really nice spring day. And yeah, so New York's is great. Just did a yoga class actually.
Oh
So
wow, hot yoga.
no, regular yoga.
Okay.
Down at St. Mark's Place is a great spot. And
But
Did
but
uh did,
but
did
from
the rest
updates
of
in
the crew join?
yeah, I was gonna say the updates in the group chat though, where it was maybe the temperature there was not it was not hot yoga, but there was a
there
lot of
was
flaminess.
the uh the collective attractiveness of the group was really, really high.
Oh
Which
wow.
which can be a little distracting, but you have to stay centered and you have to really kind of focus on your routine. And I went, did a really nice savasana. It was great. So,
Did anybody
good
shoot
all
their
together.
shot at the post game? Post game, dry yourself
Uh,
off the towel.
no. I tried, but
Conrad,
it's very difficult.
when you have yoga at 6 and a podcast at 8, no time for dilly dally.
It's
I had to
true.
get
It's
right out
true.
of there. Yeah,
Yeah. It's priorities. I mean, the Hangobi Pod over whatever your interest may be, nothing trumps it.
But
yeah,
but I will
exactly.
say, Gio, I think you need to give a brief story of the Armstrong aspect here that was going on because I think the listeners will appreciate this one.
Yeah, so we have this one buddy who is the only guy I know who does yoga with socks, which is just
So
an
so you were hired.
absolute psychopathic move. But and because of that, he's known by this yoga instructor. The guy loves him, and so he wasn't there today, but he had said he was going to come. He bailed at the last minute because he was a little too hungover from the weekend.
No, no, thank
And
you.
the yoga instructor was held up the class like 5 minutes. We were wondering like why is the class not starting? And he goes to Ron and I. He goes, Ron and me. He goes, is Brian coming? Where so he was holding up the whole
Where's
class
my guy?
for his guy, and tragically he wasn't there. So
Dude, how do you get the traction to do like downward dog with socks on? I feel like you'd be slipping all over the place.
I mean, you've seen the guy. He's not doing a whole lot of anything coordinated. It doesn't matter what the fuck he's got on his feet.
yeah. I think that's the least of his concerns. I think there's also like a lot of shirts being moved, but you know,
He
he goes
shows
through
up
like
with
four or
three in a
five
pack.
shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All urban soccer shirts from different years, different colors.
yeah, yeah.
But
But anyway,
how
it
yours?
was a good sesh.
So you just had a little bachelor party?
Yeah, I was in Austin, Texas, for a little bit of a bachelor party. We did which is awesome. Something I haven't done since I think my last senior year of college. Years ago was paintball.
Oh, nice.
Paintball, which was awesome,
Nice.
and just like the courses were pretty crappy. They had no like real
Was it
installations built.
indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor, so just like
Oh,
in this
nice.
like suburb of Austin, the like rock. It was almost like Afghani terrain. We're talking like rocks, crumbled rocks, like shadow rocks everywhere, like shrubbery trees, splintered trees, and then they had like some plywood and trenches dug, and they had about like 5 courses. Played 11 games, and it is the adrenaline gets
Oh yeah.
pumping. When you hear they're rolling over, you get hit. You get like I have a couple legitimate bruises
Yeah, I was gonna say it all
from
depends. And you get them in the fingers, like those hurt.
oh yeah, I got drilled right here
Yeah.
on my barrel hand. But once you get past those first 2 games, then you just become really really confident. So I was, my main role was I was just heavy flanker. So I'd have some people covering me, and I go into the trenches. and just look for a little window to flank and get a couple easy kills. But
Were you playing
typically
against
not.
randos or was it the
The thing
just
is,
your squad?
it was just our. I mean, it would have been fun to have like a big matchup. We had about 12 guys, so 6-on-6.
Oh, see, I feel like
Yeah.
actually playing against your
Yeah.
squad is more fun because I remember Gio and I, the last time I played it was when we were down to Pennsylvania. But the problem is we started playing against these guys. They're bringing out, I mean, we're all renting like the Tipman 98s. And then you got the guys that just have the full autos. It's like fucking
Oh yeah.
all over. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, man.
there was equipment parity. There wasn't.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one had like the
Yeah.
angel response trigger
Yeah.
like just dominating you. And yes, everybody has the same gear. But the nothing is better. Well, nothing's worse than being one of the last guys on your team because you know you're
Yep.
gonna get you're gonna shot 15 times.
And then it's one of two things: do you attack or you sit there and know
Oh
you're
yeah. You just charge and get hit. But the other thing that happened to me once or twice was if you're on the team that if you survive to the late round and there's one or two guys left, and the whole team is just converging. There was one time where one of my friends Bo was like camping behind this little structure. We had 4 guys, all at different spots, just peppering the bunker as we rolled in. And he knew he was gonna get screwed, stood up and got shot by everybody at least 8 times. So
Yep.
those are the best moments.
That is a satisfying feeling when you know you have someone cornered.
Oh yeah,
trapped.
and then you're not gonna get hit. So everybody's like you advance like a total predator. You don't have to worry about anything else as you come in, and he can't get a shot on you.
And also when you're playing with your boys, he's going to get hit more than once. Like that's the worst.
Oh
yeah.
You
don't
There's
know.
A couple a couple delayed triggers. Yeah.
If one of your buddies shoots you a little after the fact, or you take a few, then it's just like you can tell them, go pound stand or something like that. However, I will say you do little elevation of the hormones and get all fired up though when some rando who's like unathletic just like hits you double tap after the fact.
Oh yeah. So it was paintball was awesome, and then had to get some nice old school BBQ. Hit it like a massive. Yeah, it was smokehouse BBQ. Got a nice brisket, mac and cheese, pickles, sliced sausage. It was freaking incredible. All the BBQ you could want. Then we went out on Rainy Street and 6th Street in Austin, which was dope. And then did like a boat day on Saturday. They have like these. You tie up and you go to like Lake Travers or something.
Travers,
yeah. And you just tie up, and we had a 15 boat. All these boat companies, all know each other. You just tie up right next to each other, and it's this massive line. They have slides off the back of the roof of these kind of like crappy pontoon boats, and time just flies. So we were there from like 2 to 6 or something like that. So
absolute blast.
It was a fun weekend, also. But I'm feeling the heat. I'm draining. I had 2 Hangobis today. This is actually my 3rd Hangobi. One of those Hangobi days where you're running through a quarter of a case in no time. But overall, it was pretty sweet.
Good for recurring sales.
Oh yeah. It's not great. I'm not really contributing to the top line. I mean, it's a little expensive for me if I'm buying straight full price.
Yeah.
So,
this is for the this is for necessity for the company's sake.
Yeah. There's a big CEO founders, Gio and I founders, line item where we're consuming, probably half our inventory at this point as sales pick up. So we gotta improve that, but for now it's pretty solid. Yeah. How about you, Dan? What were you up to?
Oh well, had a little wedding actually this weekend down in Boston. One of those like went down there Thursday. Was supposed to be working Friday, and kind of was. But then also they're like, oh, like actually we have like golf. So there's this new thing called like 5-irons. Golf, or I don't know if they're like all over or just
they're they're in New York, right?
There's one in New York, yeah.
So we did that, and it was a blast. And then was not invited to the rehearsal dinner, but like we got invited after that, so went over there and had a good time. The weather was terrible Saturday.
It's kind of liberating not to go to the rehearsal dinner too. You kind of have like the schedule for yourself. You're not like locked into.
Exactly. It's like actually like kind of more fun. Mm-hmm. The only thing, like we didn't end up going really out to like the bars after that, which would have been fun. With that being said,
why not? It's just everybody's calling it at like 10:30, 11.
No, I think it was like probably like 1. But
okay. So that was late enough.
We went to a bar in the hotel. It was more like everybody's kind of staying. It was at like the Boston Harbor Hotel thing. So we were like where like they held the party.
That's a nice spot.
No. The hotel bar scene can be fun. Where everybody just kind of huddled around, making it work.
It was. Unfortunately, I put the card down for the first round there, and like, I forgot about that. This is about holidays.
You're not getting reimbursed.
No. You got to have alligator arms in that situation, or else people are just throwing it on the Marvin tab.
But I was just oozing confidence because I was talking to my buddy's fiance who's getting married there in June. and she was just giving like it was like a slideshow of she was like, "Wait, are you single?" I was like, "Yeah, yep, I'm still single." And she's like, "Okay, I have 6 girls." So
That's how you
I'm doing
manage to
a
stay
slideshow.
single. Okay,
Yeah,
get it right.
and she was like, so we were having a real conversation, pros and cons about what I bring, what I'm looking for. So I mean, after that was going on, it's like I feel like I gotta at least buy a round now, keep things going here. It looks like a gentleman. So so it was a little bit. I felt a little coerced into it, but it was hopefully good for the long term.
Wow,
And then
wow.
and then the best is so then we had the wedding, lot of fun, and then wake up and I was sharing a hotel room with a buddy. We just got like a few queen beds in there, and the buddy I was with, a big UConn and Miami fan. So he basically his
Oh,
family
okay.
is big UConn fans, so they were down there. Wake up at I don't know 9 o'clock, Sunday morning. And I was it's like, dude, I can't fucking check in to the because of the flight because he was supposed to be flying down first class to the basketball game tonight for the UConn game. He had bought next Sunday's ticket. So then all of a sudden sitting there already had tickets to the game. His family's down there, like Airbnb lined up and everything.
Wow.
And then hung over at 9 a.m. trying to figure out the flight was I think at 12. And then like basically sitting there trying
Holy
to
shit.
deal with that to start. So I thought it was a touch funny and also a touch like, dude, good luck out there. Sorry, man. I'm getting out of town here. But that was but he's
Wow.
there and got to be at the game and we're recording here tonight right before the big UConn San Diego State.
So he actually did make it to the game. He's going
He made
tonight.
it to the game,
Yeah.
and his dad's there, brother's there. He's from Connecticut, but went to University of Miami, so he was going to be go either way. But the difference is, I think that his Miami friends are not nearly as connected as his dad. So I think now the tickets are going to be a little nicer.
He kind of lucked
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Big upgrade. So why is the game at 9:20? What's the deal? I know it's in Texas, right?
It's a great question. Everywhere I look today on Twitter, social media, emails, personal thinking, it makes no goddamn sense. Like on a
It's like
Monday
They
at
do it
nine
with the
thirty.
football too. It's like,
No,
why is
football
it
I think
so
it's eight
late?
thirty though. I think it's 8:30, which is it just takes longer. But I think football is 8:30, isn't it?
But it's such a shame because then like your second half, you're going in the 11s easy, and you're toast from the weekend. You're trying to manage it like you're going to more sleep debt for the rest of the week. Like it's just it's a tough one.
The one thing I will say that it's is like no I every night I usually stay up till I mean it's not like I go to bed at 11 anyways, but I do like that it gives me something to complain about. In every single call I use talk with like the game starts at 9:30 tonight as if I was going to go to bed before it anyways. But I will say on the whole it is a little ridiculous having a national championship game at
Yeah,
9:30 on a Monday.
I mean, yeah, you're not going to get any like younger audiences engaged
Yeah,
with it. It's just there's no way, or kind of the older parent. You kind of lose
yeah,
the
exactly.
shoulders of anybody that's not staying up till 12 casually like that
But at
on
least
a school
UConn's
night.
in it because if we had like an FAU versus like Miami or something like that, or San Diego State, like nobody watching. Or maybe I'm just biased because like I guess with UConn, I feel like everybody I talk to today is still like watching it because they're like, yeah, I'm like pulling for UConn and hopefully like good game. I don't know anybody pulling for San Diego State, but I feel like UConn is
Clauseness.
like a basketball school. Yeah, of course. UConn I feel like it's like a basketball school, but like in the Final Four here, like Miami, not a basketball school, like San Diego State, I don't really know what they are. FAU, I'd never even heard of until this tournament. So
No, well, I mean, I was just looking at the San Diego State won both of their last two games by 1 point. So they're battle tested. They're very
well,
clutch.
so yeah, they're battle tested, but at what point does the luck run out? Where UConn's won every game by like 15 points. So at some point here,
UConn looks good, man. They're
uh,
crushing everybody. It's pretty
I have,
amazing.
and Gio, are you going to win our pool?
Yeah, if UConn wins, then I win the pool. If they lose, then Eric wins. So
Oh, I'm
uh,
pulling for UConn double hard.
Yeah,
yeah,
this is the Hangobi pod plus other members
Yep.
March Madness pool with Gio and Clausen, who we have to get on the pod by the way. He's been avoiding it for too long.
Yeah,
He got
actually,
the new job. We'll get him on. We'll give him a little code name. We won't call. We'll give him a ghost name, pen name, and we'll get on. But
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he can't be too busy because I talked to him probably about 45 minutes ago when I was throwing some iron around, and he was at the bar below his apartment having a beer and a burger by himself. So I think he's got time in the calendar.
yeah, that checks out. Yeah, come on, dude. pull it
No,
together.
it's gonna be but I mean look, 5-4, both teams are like pretty legit. I think it's gonna be a good game despite being so late. Dan, did you put some money down?
Cool. So in our family pool in office, so the only one I did not pick UConn to win was the Rags one, which is obviously biting me right in the butt. And of course, I had them in that and felt very confident, but did not put money on UConn to win 25-1. Really wish I had that as well. Long way of
Oh.
saying. So I mean, I haven't made a bet yet, but I mean, a lot of the public is on UConn, but I'm thinking UConn first half -3.5 and the game 7.5. I just feel like UConn's been so good, and
Don't
I
do
just
this
feel
to
like
me, Dan.
Is the line moving a lot? Or is it
yeah.
kind of
So
constant?
it opened at 6.5, and then I think now it's 7.5.
Oh wow, so people are loving UConn. It's pushing out a little bit.
Well, like to your point, when the team has won on last minute buzzer beaters 2 times in a row, the other team is rolling teams by 15-20. But San Diego State beat Creighton, and Creighton had some good games with UConn by 1. So I just feel like the big men on UConn right now. But like the one thing that is crazy, the stat that keeps coming out is there's like 5 teams in the NBA that are younger than San Diego State. Like all these guys are like 24 years old. It's like a hockey team. It's like I feel like
oh yeah, this is the hockey team of basketball. Hey, dude, that experience is coming to play. They're gonna be clutch. They're gonna be measured. They're gonna prevent the run.
We'll find out. Yeah, it's I mean, you showed a bunch of. I mean, these guys are about to go to retirement home in 2 weeks. So yeah.
No, that'll be good. And then we got the Rangers rolling too, which is freaking so nice. When does the playoff season start?
I think we got 6 games left.
Yeah, it's like in a week and a half.
10
Like it's
days.
really close. Yeah. Which is gonna be
Bruins-
awesome. I'm
Bruins
psyched.
look. I mean, the Eastern Conference is an absolute shit show. Bruins look obviously phenomenal. I think the Rangers are getting hot at the right time. Hurricanes.
Rangers Devils will be a cool series if that happens.
Yeah, we
That'd
could.
be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a nice tri-state matchup. I think we can beat them too.
And if Toronto does not beat the Lightning, or I don't even know if the Lightning are going to make it anymore. They're falling off the cliff. But if Toronto,
Let me pull it up.
if Toronto doesn't get by the first round this year, I feel like they kind of need to blow that thing up. Even though I don't think that they can blow it up, but
are the Penguins going to get knocked out?
they've been on a big slide. I don't think they're going to make it. I think the Islanders are looking like the
I know they're slowly.
So,
They're right behind the Islanders.
The Islanders scare me more than Pittsburgh.
the Panthers might beat out the Penguins. So there's a bit of a tight race there, and all those teams are pretty good towards the back.
Yeah, well,
that whole Eastern Conference is deadly.
But I would say that like the Penguins. I mean, first of all, I guess you just don't want to play a Crosby Malkin type thing, just because. I mean, they're so good.
So dangerous.
Like, but they haven't looked very good. The Panthers' offense has been really good, but like to me, the Islanders actually probably scare me more than both of those because I mean, you have the top 3 goal in the league in Igor, but I would say the guy rushing over it for the Islanders, he's been playing lights out.
Yeah, he's pretty
Islanders
good.
Just play like I feel like that kind of playoff-ish hockey. They get Barzell back, but the Eastern Conference is just last man standing. Whoever gets through, I feel like it's gonna be so many 7-game series and so many injuries, and then it's gonna show up and you're playing probably Colorado, and I don't know Colorado. I feel like half the team hasn't played the entire year, so they either come back and they're fresh and good, or it's an interesting script.
They do the lightning strategy. They arrest the guys, and then they have to come into the playoffs.
But I can't.
It'd be great if someone could knock off the Bruins. That's what I would love to see.
Oh, I know. And I was out of Boston this week, and everybody's huge Bruins fans. And it was relentless and just they're the worst kind of people, the Boston fans.
The worst.
Yeah, they're so in your face.
Except for the Boston Hangobi fans, obviously. But
yeah. If you're a Hangobi fan in Boston, will you get a free pass? Okay, we're not gonna give you any trouble.
Speaking of which, on the Hangobi, Conrad, how go things? We got any big announcements or?
Yeah, so we hit our first year. So we launched last March. Now we're coming at the end of March, early April right now. So 1 year with Hangobi, we built out a nice biz online so it can ship nationally to anybody, and then we grew to about 220 stores in New York. So really strong local retail push to see if we can get store movement. People liking product basically across Manhattan. You got your finance guys like Dan Marvin over here. Seeing what if he's gonna buy that product. Then we were in Brooklyn, we were in Queens, so getting a lot of different demographics purchasing the product, and then we were spread across mostly independents, but the cool thing about that is you got high quality independence, Whole Foods level, like a West Side Market, City Acres, Brooklyn Harvest, and then your corner store cafe where we're thrown against every drink and there's no organization whatsoever. So the good thing is sold well kind of across the different store types and in different kind of micro geographies in New York. So that was a good story. So now we're taking that model of, okay, we can confidently sell in retail and kind of pushing that out to certain markets across the country. So we just got into a couple national distributors. They are first regional, but they, you piece together all their regional branches and you have a national distribution network. And so I was out in Reno 2 weekends ago selling for this wholesaling distributor called CNS Wholesale. They have a West, Texas, and East division that we're in West and unlocking Texas and in the East, hopefully late April and May. But we're in West and started selling. So we sold to about 100 different stores and chains that came through. So we have 100 right now, and they basically have 2 weeks to order. So the show is like late March, or like the 20th of March. So they have basically the windows kind of dying out at the end of this week. But as it looks right now, a couple pallets are coming out of that for us, which is really exciting. A couple big pallet orders, and then and just the store count, right? We're in 220 in New York over a year, and now hopefully we'll get to 125, 150 in kind of this Western region with this distribution group. So almost 75% growth on our store count out there. And so you don't know necessarily what the reorder rate is going to look like as we kind of support these stores, but exciting to do that. And then got my sales exposure in Reno too. That city is it's an interesting place, and the casinos.
I was gonna say, you hit the old gambling, you got a few little craps going or something.
It's actually we said in the Pepper Mill is actually freaking dope. And I would say it's like not unlike this quality strip in Vegas, but I'd say if you're on the shoulders of the strip, it could compete in Vegas. But the thing about Reno is it's like the casinos have all the activities, so it kind of crushes small business because a standalone restaurant can't compete with a chain that's going to have built-in audiences in the Pepper Mill. You have like this strange dynamic of like it's kind of a little single-story buildings and then just like massive random towers spread out across the city. So but the Pepper Mill, I was pleasantly surprised, and the crew that we were with. The broker that we work with that helps us kind of facilitate the relationships that I could sell with, they represent a couple other brands. And just like, we're kind of a motley crew, Gio and I, and kind of the Hangobi pod, Dan, with you, it's like a weird mix of guys. There's always like, there was a barbecue brand there. There was, actually sold the best was a kimchi ramen Korean company. This is like the US division. They sold like $30,000 worth of product. Like, holy crap.
Wow.
So you're dealing with like different characters of age range.
You had me with Hangobi and barbecue. You're getting me all
I was
fired up.
like, oh yeah, there's a lot of complimentary products. There's this one, they had a Middle Eastern brand that nothing was in English on the packaging.
That's always fun. So
there were two adjacent to me and are pitching, and they had like halal, and they were getting tons of order activity. So we were kind of trying to hang in there with all these. When I thought we were the most conventional brand, we were like, there's all these odd kind of products out there that sell well, and then everybody kind of likes to get after it. So after the day, people are getting martinis. There's one guy, so I thought we'd get pretty hardcore martinis. Guy doesn't get. He orders the martini with the ice and the and everything, and the olives on the side. So he's trying to game. He's trying to game it to get full. Yeah, but he wants the full like glass, right? And if it's not a stiff bartender, they'll just fill up what's available, right? And so he goes for the full. Sees if he can bait them with the full thing, and then we'll drink and then dump in. But he gets like an extra.
So he starts.
Wow, I like that hack. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I like it for the cost aspects, but in terms of that first sip, we're just like a warm.
Oh no, you grind.
You have to ease into it with the first couple sips, but it's worth it after that. You just start throwing the ice in there.
Best ROI out there.
Yeah.
First sip is like a shot of gin, right? And then you just go into it. One shot of gin.
And then they were hitting the blackjack table hard. I have had really bad luck, so I just abstained on this trip. I was like I'm not going to do it. I was only there for one night, really, but these guys were putting down some decent money. I was like, I didn't know this this was the thing, but
It's like the old traffic circus out there. You just never know what's going to come out sometimes.
Yeah. So Reno, so doing a lot of these epic trips. Have a couple more kind of trade shows planned, and Hangobi's got now national distribution. We're gonna be launching. Most exciting one that we've waited a long time on is Central Market, which is essentially the Whole Foods equivalent of HEB supermarkets in Texas, with a bunch of chains in kind of the big cities, Dallas, Houston, Austin, kind of you name it. They got like 11 high performing stores that we'll be launching with. They hopefully will be in mid-April. That's the goal. So we're in kind of with a distribution group that's supporting that effort. And we'll kind of all be flying down there, doing what I can to support it. We'll have Marty the process of searching out some interns, making them work for reasonable pay.
I've seen this operation before. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna get paid a lot of experience, believe me. And then I will send them down to Texas in my stead and have them sell as much as they can. So a lot of exciting things. Gotta execute, but if all goes according to plan, hopefully we're seeing store counts go from 220 as now, and we've upgraded distribution in New York as well to call it 400, 500 in 3 months. So that would be a really exciting kind of jump for the biz. So lots of Hangobi retail activity for people out there, but also we go right to your doorstep. So you got to snag it online easy.
Lots of excitement. Get it while it's hot, and now we have a number. Gio, you just heard that 3 months time. We need 400 plus. We'll get some Vegas odds put on this puppy, kind of like my Dan's gambling corner over here, which usually does not hit and usually underperforms. Hopefully on this one, we got some good karma coming our way. Yeah,
this is like Dan, we gotta be delicate about how we do this. This is like an earnings call, and people would be like, "Oh wait, you said this number. Why'd you miss your projections?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, you should explain this."
It's fine. It's gap adjusted.
Yeah. But yeah, so all's well on that front, and kind of making some great partnerships on the side. So we did. I was actually out in Denver on right before the trip, meeting Foyer. Kind of hung out with him a bunch, did a little photo shoot. So we're getting our NFL touches before the summer breaks out, and then we got the season coming up.
You boys get to throw some lead around out there too. He should take you to the gym and show you how you're supposed to lift football versus lax out there.
I couldn't exactly compete with him, so I put on the street clothes.
The white flag.
Yeah. I didn't have any gym clothes. I was like, I'm not going to pretend like I can get in here. But
you're like, I only do body weight. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. I'm more of an at-home gym guy. I don't like to, I don't want to get into the charge here.
Baby. Keep it easy.
That's awesome. It is good.
Well, congrats, man. That sounds like a hell of a little lineup there.
Yeah. So we're churning and burning. So hopefully people, the thousands, millions of people that listen to this podcast, when you see it in your store, snag it. We got national coverage now.
I love it. And you know what? Before too long, going international.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll have to do a Hangobi Pod international launch for our first international retailer. Maybe we go to Thailand. Maybe have one retailer in Thailand. We do a little trip out there.
Well, we're going to Lima. We're going to Peru.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to London. So maybe I'll bring.
You're going to Peru just for like shits and giggles, or is there like an agenda here?
Well, our uncle lives down there. So we got a little. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, you get dropped that he's like are you going to a wedding or something? I'm just going to Peru. It's in this time of year. Who doesn't? Aren't they having an uprising down there? I thought like Americans weren't supposed to be going to Peru.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was only like Machu Picchu though. I think you're like fine like in the cities, but you're not supposed to go like Machu Picchu or something. Like people would hike out for like 36 hours because they got left behind or there's some shit going on.
And I think the election.
So it was always overblown when you hear that stuff.
Oh yeah,
it was on the election, which was in like early March. So I think we have a month. Good vision. Things have really subsided down there. They died down.
Yeah.
All right,
so that should be fun.
We're gonna need to make sure we get a tracking device put on the boys before we go down there. Otherwise, it's gonna be just Dan's daily dose, and the people will not be happy. So we got to make sure there's.
I think you could do a good monologue.
Yeah, the monologues will get pretty dry now. I don't know if you can pull it off. I don't think you're a solo anchor.
I'm not a one man band. I need a 9-piece.
But yeah, guys, this is a great pod. Good update for the crew's been a little bit of a drought, and then we got to get some more guests on. O'Leary was a great last guest.
Yep.
I think that was one of our top podcasts. So we got to get the guests flowing, but we'll keep the updates coming.
Maybe if the people get lucky here, we can find a guest to talk Masters on Wednesday. We get a little pre golf. So maybe we'll be back here in a short time.
Yeah, and then we got a bunch of different updates that the audience will be eager to hear about. Rangers playoff season, obviously going to the step. Hearing about the hangovers, golf trip, Hangobi sponsored golf trip, multiple.
Oh, Hangobi sponsor. This is good. Okay, so I'm just leaving my credit card at home. This is lovely.
No. Free product. Free product only.
Just product.
We don't do cash sponsorships. Okay, we do product sponsorships.
I was about to say, holy shit, I'm
expired. And don't check the bottom of the can. Okay, it might be some expired inventory bottom of the trip. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so a lot of good updates for the audience out there.
All right, guys. Well, we'll speak to you later.
Awesome. We'll line up one soon. See you guys.
All right.